Day News. The headlines. Election Commission announces schedule for Karnataka Assembly polls, voting on 10th of May, counting on 13th. Terrorism in all forms and its financing amongst most serious threats to global peace, says India at NSA meeting of SCO countries. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address virtually Summit of Democracy this evening. Uproar over various issues, including opposition demand for JPC probe into Adani issue, leads to adjournment of Lok Sabha without work for the 12th consecutive day. Rajya Sabha adjourned till 2 p.m. And in Madrid, Spain Masters Badminton Tournament, PV Sindhu, Kidambi Srikanth, B. Sai Praneeth and Samir Verma to begin the campaign today. Voting for Karnataka Assembly elections will take place on the 10th of May in a single phase. Announcing the election schedule in New Delhi today, Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar said the term of the 224-member Karnataka Assembly will end on May 24th.
Notification would be issued on 13th of April. Last date of making nominations would be 20th of April. Date of scrutiny would be 21st April 2023. After that, the withdrawal of the candidature can be up to 24th of April. The polling will take place on 10th of 5 in single phase, and day of counting would be 13th of May.
The Chief Election Commissioner CEC said Commission is committed to holding free and fair elections in Karnataka and preparations for the same are almost complete. He said this time the Commission laid a special focus on young voters, women, transgenders and vulnerable tribal groups. The CEC informed that a total of 58,282 polling stations have been set up, in which 24,063 stations are in urban areas, while 34,219 are rural. The total number of voters in the state is 5.21 crore, of which 2.62 crore are male voters and 2.59 are female voters. The first-time voters in the state are over 9 lakh. Out of the 224 assembly seats, 36 seats are reserved for SC and 15 seats for STs. The Commission has arranged voting facilities from home for senior citizens and disabled people. The Election Commission also announced the dates for by-poll to Lok Sabha and Assembly seats today. The by-polls will be held simultaneously with Karnataka elections.
The by-elections will take place for the Assembly in Odisha, Jharsuguda, in UP, in Suar, UPAC 34, 395 Chanabe in UP, Soyong in Meghalaya in 23, and also in the Parliamentary Constituency number 4 in Jalandhar, Punjab. So this will fill up all our vacancies till February 2023.
National Security Advisor Ajit Doval today said terrorism in all its forms and its financing are the most serious threats to international peace and security. He said any act of terrorism, regardless of its motivation, is unjustifiable. Mr. Doval said this while chairing the meeting of the National Security Advisors, NSAs, of member countries of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO, in New Delhi today.
Terrorism in all its forms and manifestations and its financing are amongst the most serious threats to international peace and security. Any act of terrorism, regardless of its motivation, is unjustifiable. It is important, therefore, for all countries to fulfill the obligations enshrined in the relevant counter-terrorism cooperation protocols, including UN Security Council Resolutions 1267, 1373, and successor resolutions for the purpose of identifying and implementing sanctions against global terrorist entities.
Mr. Doval said that India is committed to fulfilling its obligations under the International North-South Transport Corridor INSTC and inclusion of Chabahar Port within the framework of INSTC.
India is also committed to fulfilling our obligations under the International North-South Transport Corridor and for the inclusion of the Chabahar Port within the framework of INSTC. Our relations with the SCO countries, bonds of history, geography and culture make us natural partners. We are common stakeholders in the peace, security, progress and prosperity of the region, and we believe that SCO can play a seminal role in this endeavor.
The meeting was attended in person by several high-level delegates from the Central Asian countries. The SCO comprises China, India, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Pakistan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. Both the Houses of Parliament continue to witness uproar over the opposition demand for a joint parliamentary committee probe into the Adani Group matter and other issues. This is the 12th consecutive day of the second leg of the budget session when the proceedings of the Houses were disrupted. Amid the Lok Sabha adjourned for the day and the Rajya Sabha till 2 p.m. In the Lok Sabha, when the House reassembled after the first adjournment till 12 noon, opposition members including from Congress, DMK and others trooped into the well, raising slogans in favor of the demand for a JPC probe into the Adani Group matter. Other opposition members including TMC, JDU, Shiv Sena, UBT and others were on their feet. Amid Environment, Forest and Climate Change Minister Bhupendra Yadav introduced the Forest Conservation Amendment Bill 2023. He also moved the Biological Diversity Amendment Bill 2022. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman moved the Competition Amendment Bill 2022, which was passed by the House without discussion. Amid chaotic scenes, the presiding officer urged the agitating members to go back to their seats. It has been announced by the chair that there will be no sitting in the House on the 31st of this month. Amid pandemonium, the presiding officer adjourned the House for the day. The next sitting of the House will be held on 3rd April. Similar scenes were witnessed in the Rajya Sabha. As ruckus continued, Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar adjourned the House till 2 p.m. The Lok Sabha membership of Lakshadweep MP Mohammad Faisal has been restored after the Kerala High Court suspended his conviction and sentence in a criminal case. The Lok Sabha Secretariat today issued a notification in this regard. The Kerala High Court had stayed the conviction and sentence of Mohammad Faisal on the 25th of January this year. The Nationalist Congress Party NCP leader Mohammad Faisal was sentenced to 10 years of imprisonment in a case of attempt to murder on 11th of January this year by a local court of Kavarati. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Northeast Diary program, broadcast every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. brings very interesting and enchanting stories from the 8 Indian states of Northeast India. Northeast Diary this week, on the 30th of March 2023, brings an exclusive interview with Mr. Richard Asoso, Chief Marketing Officer and PRO of a Kohima-based IT firm. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will virtually address the leader-level plenary session on Summit of Democracy this evening. The summit has been hosted by South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol. Presidents and Prime Ministers from 6 countries, Greece, Israel, Italy, Kenya, Croatia and Timor-Leste will also address the summit. The summit aims to make democracies more responsive and resilient and to build a broader community of partners committed to global democratic renewal. The summit focuses on 3 key points: strengthening democracy and defending against authoritarianism, addressing and fighting corruption, and promoting respect for human rights. Union Minister for Railways Ashwini Vaishnav today hit out at Congress leader Rahul Gandhi over his disqualification from membership of Lok Sabha. Talking to Midday New Delhi, Mr. Vaishnav said that Mr. Gandhi has been disqualified because of his ego and insulting remarks towards the community.
ओबीसी समाज का जो अपमान किया, उस अपमान को अगर एक कोर्ट ने कॉग्निजेंस लेके एक फैसला किया, तो आज मिस्टर राहुल गांधी कहते हैं कि वो कोर्ट ही गलत है। मिस्टर राहुल गांधी का ये विचार है कि इस देश पे राज करना उनका जन्म सिद्ध अधिकार है। वो एंटाइटलमेंट की राजनीति करते हैं। उनको लगता है कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, कोर्ट, पार्लियामेंट, ये सब क्या व्यवस्था है, वो सब इन सब से अपने आप को ऊपर मानते हैं। इस ऊपर मानने के कारण अपने आप को मिस्टर राहुल गांधी सोचते हैं कि वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से भी ऊपर है।
The government today launched the 7th round of auction of coal mines for commercial sale in New Delhi. Around 106 mines have been offered in the 7th round, among which 61 are partially explored and 45 are fully explored. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh launched the auction. Union Minister of Coal, Mines and Parliamentary Affairs Prahlad Joshi and Minister of State for Coal Mines and Railways, Rao Saheb Patil Danve, were also present on the occasion. The ministry also signed agreements for 28 coal mines auctioned under the 6th round. Minister of State for Railways and Textiles, Darshana Vikram Jardosh, has expressed hope that the 3-day meeting of the second Environment and Climate Sustainability Working Group will help yield a fruitful outcome on water resource management. The meeting began at Gandhinagar in Gujarat on Monday. Talking exclusively to AIR News, Darshana Jardosh said the delegates witnessed India's traditional system and engineering prowess about water resource management.
सरकार ने जब से जल शक्ति मंत्रालय बनाया, शौचालय से लेके गांव क्या होना चाहिए, कैसे एनवायरनमेंट का ध्यान रखा जाए, कैसे पानी को जो बचाया जाए, उसके ऊपर फोकस करके ये एग्जीबिशन में पूरी नॉलेज शेयरिंग करी गई और जो डेलीगेट्स आए हैं लोग भी ये सब देखेंगे कि इंडिया ने कहाँ तक प्रोग्रेस किया है। खास करके वाटर रिलेटेड जो भी यहाँ पे दिखाने वाली चीज थी, जैसे साबरमती रिवर फ्रंट, वो सब भी दिखाया जो ग्लोबली दिखाना चाहते हैं।
The Union Minister visited the exhibition set up by the Jal Shakti Ministry on projects such as Namami Gange and Atal Bhujal Yojana. Union Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Bhagwat Kishan Rao Karad, today inaugurated the first Trade and Investment Working Group meeting in Mumbai. On the second day of the meeting, participants are deliberating on TIWG priority issues. In the first session, Institute of Economic Growth, Delhi World Bank and United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific delivered a presentation on trade for growth and prosperity. Later today, a presentation on the topic Trade and Resilient Global Value Chains will be made by Indian School of Business, Hyderabad, and United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. News just in that Rajya Sabha has been adjourned till the 3rd of April. The Centre today informed that under the National Handloom Development Programme, assistance of more than 201 crore rupees has been provided to handloom clusters in the last 4 years. In a written reply in the Lok Sabha, Textiles Minister Piyush Goyal informed that under the programme, the government provides need-based financial assistance to handloom workers in selected handloom clusters. He said since the financial year 2015-16, the assistance has been provided to 619 clusters across the country, benefiting around 60,000 handloom workers. China has threatened resolute countermeasures in response to a scheduled meeting between Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen and U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy in Los Angeles. At a press conference today, Zhu Fanglian, the spokesperson for China's Cabinet Taiwan Affairs Office, criticized Tsai's stopover on her way to diplomatic allies in Central America and requested that no U.S. officials meet with her. Tensions between Beijing and Washington over trade, human rights, and U.S. backing for Taiwan have increased. In the Madrid, Spain Masters 2023 badminton tournament, PV Sindhu, Kidambi Srikanth, B. Sai Praneeth and Samir Verma will be opening India's campaign in their respective categories today. In the women's singles, Sindhu will take on Janjira Stadelman of Switzerland, while Akarshi Kashyap will be up against Michelle Lee of Canada. In the men's singles, Srikanth will take on Sitikom Thammasin of Thailand and B. Sai Praneeth will face Jan Lord of the Czech Republic. In the other singles matches, Samir Verma will take on Nihat Nguyen of Ireland and Priyanshu Rajawat will be up against Victor Swensen of Denmark. In the men's doubles, Indian pair of Satvik Sairaj, Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty will lock horns with Ayato Endo and Yuta Takei of Japan. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Election Commission announces schedule for Karnataka Assembly polls, voting on 10th of May, counting on 13th. Terrorism in all forms and its financing amongst most serious threats to global peace, says India at NSA meeting of SCO countries. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address virtually Summit of Democracy this evening. Uproar over various issues, including opposition demand for JPC probe into Adani issue, leads to adjournment, both houses of parliament for the 12th consecutive day. And in Madrid, Spain Masters badminton tournament, PV Sindhu, Kidambi Srikanth, B. Sai Praneeth and Samir Verma to begin their campaign today. And with that, we end the Midday News.